Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to continue talking about arrays. And I want to kind of go through a couple steps when you're looking to copy or transfer data from array to array. Alright, so we're just going to actually set up an array on our own this time again. We'll just say, no, we don't need a string, we'll just go int. Okay, and we'll just say this is our main array. We need to make an array. I didn't have to delete everything, but main array. Okay, and we'll just set up some numbers in here, but won't go too crazy. We'll just be like 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. It's not a big deal what you put in there. So now we'll take another one. We'll just call this one our copy array. Alright, so we're gonna actually, what you might think is that you can easily just go and say main underscore array, and there, you know, array is now copied. And you're kind of right, it kind of works that way, but I'm going to show you one of the problems with doing it this way. Is we'll say this one is our main array, our main number. Alright, and we'll add the main number here. We'll just take one of the values out. We won't have to go through all of them, just take one for now. Okay, we'll just work with the second, or the very first one, number 2. Okay, and then we'll add in, we'll go with this, we'll say space here. Now this is our copied number. Okay, and give a little space there, and we'll just say copy array. And we'll do it with the same value. Okay, so we're just going to take the first, so both of them should actually print out with 2, and we'll run that now. Boom, so it's perfect. They both ran 2. Our array's copied, it's all over and done with. I want to show you something really weird. If I was to say now main, and I took that 0 and we wanted to change that to 100. Alright, we just took the main, oh, I need to call it the right thing, main array, and we took this first value 2 and we wanted to convert it to 100. Now we'll take this and we'll print this line right out after here. Okay, so now we have main array, this was 100. We have a copy of array, which at this point was, you know, both of them were 2 beforehand, but now we've changed the main array to 100, so we should have 100 here, and our copy array should remain at 2, and we'll run this up. And bang. Now if you notice, the main array is 2 here because prior to it, if you notice here, prior it was 2 normal, printed it out, it was 2. We changed the value here, and if you notice, it actually changed it in our copied value as well, in our copied array. And why that is because if you do it this way, what you're technically saying is that you'd like for this name to be kind of pointed to here. It's only kind of linked to this guy. So these are sharing the same values together. It's not technically the right way of going about doing something like this. If you're going to actually look to copy in values from an array, you're going to want to do it. There's 3 ways that you can do it. We're going to talk about at least 2 of them. I can maybe show you the final one, but the 2 most common ones we'll look through now. Okay, so don't just copy an array over like this, because it's only linking the one array to the other. So it's like in memory, there isn't 2 separate arrays. There's only one array with 2 names, if you want to think of it that way. Okay, so if we're going to do this, we'd have to go with, we'll say new, we'll make a new int array, and we'll just put it into the size of the other main array. We'll just make it the same length as that one. We could just type in obviously how small that is, but if this does get any bigger, if we added more, then it's kind of a dynamic setup. where we don't have to grow this one and change that value as well. We can just kind of add these ones in up here, and then the next one will automatically take the size of the next. Okay, so if you're going to actually copy in arrays and stuff like this, you're going to want to use the loop. You're going to want to actually take it in and copy it properly through a loop. All right, so we'll say, well, x is less than the main array. And we have to now put dot length, and we'll go x plus plus. All right, so that now is gonna run through the main one, and we'll take our copy array, and I'll put that in here. We'll put the x to iterate through it, and then we will go with the main array, and we'll do the same thing. We'll put the x in here to go through it at the same time. And now when we actually print this stuff out, if we were to say system.out.println, okay, and we did our same thing again, so main array. I should have just kept them in there. Now I'm making extra work for myself, but oh, there we go. And we'll just do again with the 0. We'll just take 0. We add into the copy array, and we'll say 0. We got to put a couple little things in here first, so get ahead of myself. Okay, so now if we run it, we'll get the same values. So we can do this. We'll now see in the very beginning that both have 2 in their numbers. All right, and then if we come down here now and do that same thing, main array, and we change this value here to 100, so the very first one again, and we just simply print this out again. Oh, okay, and we print it out again. Now it'll actually show you that it does indeed make 2 separate values. Okay, see, so now we have the main array is at 100 and the copied array is still at 2. Okay, so and now we actually have 2 arrays set in memory. There's 2 separate arrays that are actually available to us, and when we're using them, it's a lot nicer to use that situation, right? So that's one way of actually going about copying an array over to each other, or getting it to, you know, using the for loop. Okay, so we got using a for loop to copy an array. I'm gonna make another array up here just so we can showcase the other one. So we'll just call it array copy. I know it's kind of bad to do that, but it's okay. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just make it the length of the main one again. And then the other way that we can go about doing this now is actually using the system dot. So we can go system dot, and you can see here there's an array copy. Okay, and how this is going to work is this argument, which is actually going to be the array for the first one. Then our next argument is kind of the starting point of the array as to where we would like to start. This would be your second array in the value, or in the arguments, or like the second array you want copied. So the first one's your source, the second one's your target, is how I'm trying to say that. And then these are your positionals, like where you would like to start from. And then this would be how many or what limit you would actually want to take in. So in this form, if we took the main array, that's our source array, which we'd like here. We want to start it at the 0. You can start it in the middle if you want. We can take the array and we can copy it in. And then we're going to just use this again with the dot length. Okay, so then it gives us the full array to the point of the length of it. And now we got array copy. So if we do this now, we can say, we'll say this one is now for the top, the for loop, we'll call it. Oh. Okay, so that's for our for loop. Just do something like that for it. Make it look all nice. And then we'll just say this one down here is for the array copy form. Okay, and then we know we just got to flip this around so it's actually array underscore copy. And then we'll print off each one as we do this now. So we'll run it. I'll show you what happens here. And again, see, we got the array copied. We can do the same thing down here in this form. So if it does do that, we'll go like this, for loop copy, and then we'll make one more, and we'll make this guy print out afterwards. And you'll see that it is, you know, working the same way that this should have been called copy array. But see, so we got this still working the same way that the other one is, and they're both copying them over instead of actually linking them to each other, which is kind of retarded. But it is certainly a thing that you can use in a form, but I don't know that I would necessarily want to go that route, to tell you the honest truth. So that's two different ways. That's now using the system dot array copy method. All right, and again we'll just put target, then the index, starting index or index number, this camel case it here, index num, and then the the source. I just messed that up. That's the source array, so like your main array, then your array to be copied to, or your target array, when you want to kind of copy it to, and again with the index num again, and then the last is the length. So, and you can mess around with that if you'd like, how it would work, you know. So if we had these numbers and we started at you know, we wanted to start at the 5, we could put in 2 and then 2 and run that and run that. Bam, we get an out of bounds. Oh, because yeah, we're going to the length of the array now. So we'd have to do this -2. And you can see that this guy now did 0 because we actually didn't start here. So do that sparingly, or use it accordingly to what you wish to actually use it at. Normally, if you're just going to go from like array to array, just zeros here, and then your normal length would be fine here, just the array dot length. Or if you know the number that was already set up, then just put the straight number. But normally just this array dot length is perfect because it kind of works beautifully to make sure you don't get that out of bounds value. And there's one more way about going and doing this, and that's using the actual clone. Now I kind of want to leave this one out, but I'll show you just up in here, the clone right here. I'm gonna leave this one for later because there's a little bit of stuff I want to show you before we get into this. But you can clone it, and I want to kind of get into a different so these ones for now, I don't want to get too far in depth. If you want to use it, this is probably typically your more than likely way of going about it. This is a pretty easy way as well, either way that you want to choose to do it, that's just how you would do it. Don't be putting it over into up here. Don't copy it over. It's not going to work right. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future videos, leave it in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the rest of it. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you in the next video.